Hey guys, Artist Creation back again with another Destiny 2 build video, and today we're on a Stasis Warlock, and for this build we're going to run a Shadebinder, of course. You got your Dust Fields, you got your Penumbral Blast, which should be quite good for this build because we're doing a double melee build with the exotic we're running. I have Ice Flare Bolts, so Ice Flare Bolts is shattering a frozen target, spawn Seekers, attract to other targets and freeze them. Now, the great thing about the freezing aspect of this is because with Glacial Harvest, freezing targets create stasis shards around them, and higher tier combatants create higher tier shards. So stasis shards will just basically be spawning everywhere here with this setup and this build. Now, for the fragments, I have Whisper of Conduction, Hunger, Fissures, and Rhyme. Rhyme is from picking up stasis shards. You will get an overshield, and constantly picking up shards will keep refreshing the shield. Which is really strong. It's handy for staying alive and stuff, and you can really run and gun. Whisper of Fissures is increased damage on size burst of stasis when you destroy a stasis crystal or a frozen target, which is great because we'll be freezing everything with the weapon that we'll be running today. Whisper of Hunger, so you get increased melee energy gains from stasis shards, but you'll have a negative 10 on mobility and 10 on recovery. But that doesn't matter because my stats are quite good for the setup. Now I know that might affect some people worse than others, but honestly the mobility and recovery isn't too bad on a negative 10, but you'll be getting a plus 10 on resilience and intellect with Whisper of Conduction, and that's so stasis shards can track to your location so you're not chasing them down. Now, for the weapon, we're going to be using a Cryostasia 77k. Recently, this got a change on the anniversary pack, and it is really strong now. It's a lot of fun, especially for like a Warlock that can basically, when you create shards when you're freezing, the amount that you can freeze with this is crazy. So all you need to do is get one kill, hold down the reload button, you get a charged shot, shoot it, and it'll create an AoE effect in an area, and it'll freeze. Basically, the size of the freeze is crazy, and it's a lot of fun to use with this build. Now, I'm running a Null Composure and Ascendancy. They're not too important. You can run whatever you want to run and gun and just smash out with once enemies are frozen. But the main thing I'll be using is Cryostasia, and my melee is mostly if I can. If I have to switch to anything, it'll probably be Null Composure. If I got a big boy I gotta take out, it'll be Ascendancy. On the headpiece, I'm running a double hands-on for this build, and I'm running Well of Restoration, so picking up Stasis Elemental Wells grants you additional energy for the ability that's the lowest, which is quite good. Now, on the arms, I'm running Impact Induction, but I'm going to change one of these to Thermoclastic Blooming, so defeating combatants with solar or stasis melees generates an orb, and because this is a stasis build, I'll be getting stasis melee kills with the setup, and it's really good. And melee reduces your grenade cooldown, which is really strong as well, so you can throw those dust fields whenever you need them. And of course, I'm running a Bountiful Wells with that as well. So far, Well of Restoration, Bountiful Wells, Melee Wellmaker with Concussive Dampener and Sniper Damage Resist. So Melee Wellmaker is where you get kills with your melee. You will get Elemental Well, and that'll be doubled up because of the Bountiful Wells. I have an Explosive Wellmaker in here as well, so shattering multiple targets with stasis will create explosive wells. And then of course I'm running a double innervation here, but that can be anything. You can even just pop on a fusion scav. It's not necessary to have innervation. You can run any of the boots, to be honest, with a scav and explosive. Once you get explosive into your build somehow, it doesn't matter what boots you run. On the bond then, I'm running a double outreach, so my melee cooldown when using my class ability, and then I'm running a melee wellmaker. So that's a double melee wellmaker, an explosive wellmaker, a bountiful wells, and a well of restoration, and that's the build. So let's get in here and I'll show you how it works. So I want to get one kill, you hold it, you charge it, you freeze it, and boom, there you go. And you see the stasis shards there. I generated 2 with a yellow bar. And whenever you shatter, because of the catalyst, whenever I shatter a target, I'll get a full thing. So you watch, I shoot it, shoot one, full ammo again, and you see all the wells right there. I'm gonna jump over here. You see the AoE, it's crazy. It's a lot of fun, and you have a lot of wells just floating around and a lot of shards floating around on top of it. So again, shoot them up. You can switch weapons, and you can just decimate with it. It's a lot of fun, as I said, with this build. But that's just a weapon. So what you want to be using is your melees as well. So when you dive in, your melees, and you create those wells, and you create those solar wells. So again, you want to get your weapon going, you want to freeze up those targets, and you want to be getting your melee kills on top of it, and you'll get your wells forever, and it'll be creating orbs of power on top of it. So watch now, you just pop it here. It'll freeze everything. Oh, I missed out with those explodey boys. Must be a little bit too far away from them. So just be careful on the distance. Sometimes it's not a huge AoE, but it's bigger than it used to be, and how the weapon works is just fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun with this build. As I said, you can throw Dust Field down. And see you later. And all those boys are frozen up over there. and boom, everything is wiped out. Gotta hold it down again, and it's continuous. You don't have to worry about anything. And all those shards and everything are all in there. You can throw a dust field down. Make sure you keep that slow on them so they can't get to you, the explodey boys. You freeze them up, destroy them. I'm ready for another freeze. And again. Hold it down so you can just continuously freeze with Cryosthesia. It's fucking so much fun. I can't believe that the change to it made it such a nice gun to use. And it's so nice for like locking down enemies and corners and stuff. You could even use this for like lost sectors and GMs, to be honest. Now I know Cryosthesia is a sidearm, and some people are like would be very wary about using sidearms in GMs and stuff. But like some GMs, this could work phenomenally. Other ones, maybe not so much. But it is a great weapon to use now. And to be honest, with the changes coming in Witch Queen, where they have said that they will be bringing out an option for full auto on weapons, I'm hoping that that will affect exotics on top of that. And if it does affect exotics, then you will be able to hopefully make Cryosthesia a full auto sidearm. And that would be crazy good, to be honest. And boom, freeze them up. You just shoot one of your melees in there, wipes the hallway. Wipe them, and as you see, it's a lot of fun. You're locking everyone down. For low-end content, this is absolutely smashing. For high-end content, it might not be as feasible, but it's a lot of fun. You could also change on your bond. You could put on Thermoclastic Strike, and that will stun Overload champions as well, so you can still stun. Right now, this can be an unstoppable weapon. You could have an Overload there. You could have this as an unstoppable weapon. You could put on a Linear as an unstoppable weapon. There's a lot you could do with this build right now till we go into Witch Queen, so it's quite fun. So again, you want to be running the Fragments. You want to be running Whisper of Conduction, Hunger, Fissures, or Rhyme. You could change Rhyme out for Rending for increased kinetic weapon damage. That works as far as I know with Cryosthesia because it's in kinetic slot. That's something you could also put in there. You could also put in Whisper of Refraction, slow their frozen targets, defeating them, will give you class ability energy, so you get more rifts out and stuff as well. That'll be really strong. But you want to make sure you're just running the Cryosthesia. Any weapon you want to do for depending on the activity you're doing. Then you want to be running your Claws of Aramkara. The Claws of Aramkara will give you an additional melee charge. That's basically all it does. It's a really good exotic for the setup because you want to get that extra melee, because melee is something you wouldn't do with a Warlock that often. Then for the headpiece, double hands-on, Well of Restoration, arms, impact induction, thermoclastic blooming. You could just change the impact induction out and put in like a reload or something for your sidearm if you wanted to, but because you're freezing and shattering, you will always be getting your ammo full back up, so you don't really need to reload with it, but you can if you wanted to, or you can put in something completely different. You can change the arms up if you like, because thermoclastic can go on any of the arms and stuff like that, subclass wise, but you'd need the Claws of Aramkara for the setup. Then you have your Concussive Dampener, Cypher Damage Resist, and Melee Wellmaker, an Explosive Wellmaker, and I have a Scav and an Innervation there, but any pair of boots will work for this. But try and work in Explosive Wellmaker if you can. Make sure you get your Bountiful Wells in the build. A Well of Restoration helps quite a lot. And then of course I got a double melee Wellmaker, Thermoclastic Strike for high end, double outreach for not high end, and try and get your stats up. Now I'm not running any high strength stats on this. Now you can if you want to get 100 strength on it, but I think because of the way of getting wells and getting your shards back and stuff, because you're freezing so many targets, you don't really need to worry about strength too much, because Stasis shards give you melee energy back, and Whisper of Hunger increases that amount. So it's really, really strong. So again, that's the build. So thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you like what you see, and I will catch you in the next video.